Close your eyes for a second and picture a 1950s kitchen. A ticking wall clock. A pot gently bubbling on the stove. The smell of onions softening in a pan, bread warming in the oven, and somebody calling, "Wash your hands, dinner's ready." These weren't gourmet meals or fancy restaurant plates. They were honest, filling dinners that fed entire families, week after week. Tonight, we're going back to the food that raised us, comforted us, and quietly taught us how love looks at the table. As we go, tell me in the comments, which dish do you still make, and which one you swore you'd never eat again? Yes, liver and onions fans and haters, I'm looking at you. Alright, aprons on. Let's begin. 1. Liver and onions. The most divisive dinner of the decade. Half the country craved it, the other half fed it to the dog under the table. Moms had a trick: soak the liver in milk for an hour to tame that metallic bite, dust it in seasoned flour, then flash fry with slowly caramelized onions. Why did it show up so often? Nutrition on a budget. Iron and B vitamins before anyone even said superfood. For some, this tasted like home, for others, like a dare. Which side are you on, team love it, or team never again? And did your house serve it with mustard, ketchup, or nothing at all? 2. Salmon Croquettes. One humble can of salmon, stretched into dinner for 6. Mixed with breadcrumbs, onion, egg, maybe a squeeze of lemon, shaped, sizzled, and served golden with mashed potatoes and peas. Now, the great debate your comments reminded me of: bones in or out? Some families picked every tiny bone with surgeon-level focus. Others mashed them in for extra calcium, you barely noticed once they softened in the pan. Friday fish night, a hot skillet, and a plate that filled the room with conversation. Did your family serve croquettes with peas or green beans? Or maybe biscuits and gravy for breakfast the next morning? 3. Creamed chipped beef on toast. A military memory turned into a civilian staple. Start with a butter flour roux, whisk in milk until satin smooth, then fold in salty strips of dried beef. Ladle over thick, buttered toast. It was inexpensive, rib-sticking, and somehow comforting after a long day. Kids giggled at the funny nickname, veterans nodded quietly. This was the flavor of having enough when times were thin. Some families even added a splash of coffee to deepen the gravy. 4. Tuna noodle casserole. Egg noodles, canned tuna, cream of mushroom soup, frozen peas, and a crispy topping, potato chips or breadcrumbs, depending on the family. 10 minutes to assemble, then into the oven while homework was done at the kitchen table. Church potlucks had 3 versions at minimum, each family swearing theirs was the best. Leftovers the next day. Even better, because the sauce had time to settle into the noodles. Which topping did your family use, chips or crumbs? 5. Meatloaf with mashed potatoes. The king of comfort food. Ground beef, breadcrumbs, egg, onion, and that glossy ketchup glaze on top, or was your family a chili sauce family? Some moms hid a hard-boiled egg in the center for a little drama at the table. Slice it thick, pour gravy from the pan drippings, serve with mashed potatoes. This wasn't fancy, it was complete. And the best part? Tomorrow's cold meatloaf sandwich on white bread with a swipe of mayo or ketchup. Admit it, you missed that. 6. Sunday pot roast with vegetables. You could smell it from church. Tough, affordable beef transformed by time, low and slow, with carrots, potatoes, and onions that tasted like they'd been kissed by the roast itself. Sunday afternoon was patience in a pan. The leftovers became Monday hash or sandwiches, because nothing went to waste. Who remembers a parent or grandparent testing the roast with a fork, smiling when it finally gave way? 7. Chicken and dumplings. One bird, many bowls. Simmer a whole chicken with onion, carrot, celery, pull the meat, make a rich broth, and drop in soft dumplings. Rule number 1, don't lift the lid while dumplings puff. Every family had a recipe guarded like treasure. Some rolled them thin and flat, others made clouds. This dinner tasted like care, the kind that sits with you when you're under the weather and stays until you feel human again. 8. Shepherd's pie. Ground lamb or beef, onions, carrots, maybe peas, topped with creamy mashed potatoes and baked until the peaks browned. European roots, American soul. It was a whole dinner in one dish, the kind that turns a cold night into a cozy one. Did your family call it shepherd's pie or cottage pie? And did you ever make individual ramekins just to make kids feel special? 9. Chicken fried steak. Tenderized cube steak, dredged, fried, and smothered in peppery white gravy. Served beside mashed potatoes and green beans, this southern classic proved that technique mattered more than price tag. The rhythmic pounding of meat doubled as stress relief. The gravy, born from pan drippings, was the secret handshake. And to anyone confused, yes, it's beef. The chicken is the method, not the animal. 10. Fish sticks and fries. The dawn of convenience food. A sheet pan, a hot oven, and dinner that had crunch. Kids loved dunking, moms loved fewer pans to scrub. It wasn't a showpiece, but it was a break, and sometimes that's the most nourishing ingredient of all. Be honest, did you dip yours in ketchup, tartar sauce, or both? 11. Sloppy Joes. Sweet tangy meat piled onto soft buns with a stack of napkins on the side. Ketchup, Worcestershire, brown sugar, simple pantry magic. Perfect for birthdays, sports nights, and backyard picnics. The mess was part of the joy. Potato chips or coleslaw on the side. And who still makes these, for the grandkids, but secretly for themselves? 12. Beef stew. First you brown the meat, really brown it. Then onions, carrots, potatoes, a little flour, and thyme. Hours later, the house smells like you live in a storybook. The best bowls were eaten with a spoon in one hand and a slice of bread in the other to chase the gravy. Snow on the window, warmth in the bowl, that's what stew was for. 13. Fried chicken and biscuits. Cast iron skillet, buttermilk soak, seasoned flour. Oil popping like applause. Chicken that's shatter crisp outside, juicy within. Biscuits rolled, cut, and baked until steam escaped when you split them, then butter, honey, maybe a drizzle of sorghum. Church picnics, family reunions, Sunday suppers, this was a recipe and a gathering all at once. Whose fried chicken did you grow up defending, mom, grandma, or the neighbor down the street? 14. Baked macaroni and cheese. Before the box, elbow macaroni, real cheddar, a proper bechamel, and buttery crumbs on top. The edges got golden and a little crispy, the center stayed creamy and spoonable. Kids camped at the oven window like it was TV. Adults stole forkfuls when they thought no one was looking. If you want the secret, grate your own cheese, it melts smoother. 15. Cabbage rolls. Immigrant know-how turned into American weeknight dinners. Blanched cabbage leaves wrapped around ground beef and rice, nestled into tomato sauce to simmer gently. Rolling them took a little time, which was exactly the point, multiple generations in one kitchen, hands working, stories flowing. Dinner didn't just feed you, it connected you, to your people and their places. 16. Chili. Beans or no beans, let the battle begin. Either way, brown your meat well, bloom your spices, and let it simmer until the whole pot tasted like itself. Cornbread on the side, or spooned over rice. Cheese, onions, maybe sour cream for the modern touch. But the truth is universal, chili is better tomorrow. 17. Chicken pot pie. Creamy chicken, carrots, peas, tucked beneath a flaky top that puffed and browned like it was proud. Cutting into it released steam that smelled like cozy. This dish taught patience, skill, and that homemade crust was worth the flour on your shirt. Did your family cut vent slits into hearts or initials? 18. Spanish rice. A weeknight traveler, ground beef, rice, tomatoes, peppers, maybe corn or beans. One pot, tidy cleanup, big flavor. It felt adventurous without sending you to a specialty store. Practical, colorful, and perfect for stretching a pound of meat. Did you top it with cheese or even a fried egg? 19. Ham and bean soup. Nothing wasted. The Sunday ham bone went into Monday's pot with soaked navy beans, onion, and celery. Hours later, creamy beans, smoky broth, bits of ham falling off the bone. Served with cornbread or a buttered roll, it warmed the house and the week. Moms who started this in the morning deserved a medal. Dinner ready, budget saved, spirits lifted. 20. Pork chops and applesauce. Simplicity done right. Seasoned chops seared to a golden crust, still juicy inside, partnered with applesauce that balanced savory with sweet. In fall, kids peeled apples at the table, cinnamon and cloves perfumed the whole kitchen. The smell alone could make you kinder. This is what good tastes like without trying too hard. These weren't just dinners, they were rituals. They taught patience, like with pot roasts. Creativity, like turning leftovers into hash. And the quiet economy of love, like stretching one chicken into a feast. They reminded us that when a home smells like dinner, life makes sense. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these do you still make today? Which one would you bring back this week? And let's settle it once and for all, salmon bones, remove or mash in. If this brought back a memory, your mom's kitchen, a grandparent's hands, a Sunday that tasted different, share it below so we can read along. Don't forget to subscribe for more trips down memory lane. And if you'd like a part 2, with 1950s Sunday specials or desserts, just say the word. Until next time, may your dinners be simple, hearty, and shared.